he is elected again, is looking more autocratic than democratic, more vengeance than governance. And how do we know that? Well, his own words. Item number one, revenge. The Washington Post reports that he and his allies are plotting to take control of the Justice Department to punish his perceived enemies. Now, this includes President Biden.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellow Hammer Now, and let's talk about what was just shown in that clip, the weaponization of the justice system. Yeah, it turns out some folks on CNN are very worried about this. And it's not just there. No. It's Intel's officials as well. Look at MSNBC. They have a whole graphic for it. Scary, right? Intel officers are warning that Donald Trump could seek vengeance and revenge on his enemies. That's scary. You know, because these same Intel officers told us about Hunter Biden's laptop, right? And how it was Russian misinformation, right? We need to worry about that. And they're worried about what? Donald Trump using the justice system to go after his political enemies. Where have I heard that before? Well, Congressman Barry Moore from Alabama was speaking to Merrick Garland, and he called out Merrick Garland pretty clearly.
We talk a lot in here about the attack of the rule of law and embracing misinformation. Do you see that the American people, the number one thing I see when I'm touring the district, or at least in 21, not anymore it's the border, but in 21, Mr. Garland, it was a concern for the weaponization of the government against U.S. citizens. What do you think is driving the concern?
I think when people say over and over the word weaponization, it can have an effect on people's belief, whether it's founded or unfounded.
Do you think it might be founded based on the Durham report, when Durham himself said that he was extremely concerned with the way that Comey, the FBI director, Lynch, and those knew that the DNC was driving the Russian collusion narrative, and then they went out and opened an investigation? Do you think maybe those kind of things, maybe impeaching him twice, maybe arresting him, maybe raiding his home? For the first time ever, we've actually indicted a president. Do you think maybe those are more the reason that people are starting to lose trust in the justice system than maybe anything we're saying here on the Hill?
Mr. Durham was reporting at events that occurred in administration before I was Attorney General.
But does it still not erode the credibility of the Department of Justice and justice in America, the rule of law, when things like what happened last week start to happen that have never happened before in the history of the country? Do you think that maybe has more to do with this than what we're saying here?
Now, Attorney General Garland wants to pretend that he doesn't have any idea what anyone's talking about here, but he's put his fingers on the scale with Hunter Biden. They've gone after J6 people like absolute lunatics. They've gone after abortion protesters. You name it. If you're a political enemy of this administration currently in office right now, you better watch out. And while they're doing that, they're telling you that Donald Trump, if he gets in, he might do the same thing. You got to understand what they're actually trying to get at here. It's okay for them to do this, but if someone does it to them, then it's awful. And I have a warning for those in the Biden administration who all think this is okay. Much like with the Supreme Court and how that blew up in your face on the left, this is going to blow up in your face as well. If Donald Trump gets back in office, you have reason to worry, because there is no reason for Donald Trump not to do the exact thing to his political enemies that they want done to him.